Hello, good people of the internet. You currently find me sitting inside of a 2019 Suzuki Jimny. Now, if you're watching this video, I'm sure you probably already know everything there is to know about the Suzuki Jimny, but just in case you've been living under a rock for the last 4 decades, let me explain it to you. The Jimny is the most hardcore sort of off-roader that Suzuki offers. It's been a real fan favourite over the years, and there's finally a 4th generation model along after the old one was in production for, I think, over 20 years it was. It is a proper bona fide off-road car. It's a ladder frame chassis, coil sprung, live axles front and rear, and it has a dual range 4-wheel drive system in it as well. You can have a 4-speed automatic, which is not that great, or you can have the 5-speed manual, which I have here, and it is much better. Now, I'm sure the on-road performance is going to matter to some people, and this does make for a really good city car, but on longer drives and on twisty roads, it's not that great. It's only got a 1.5 litre petrol engine, 4-cylinder, makes 75 kilowatts and 130 newton meters of torque, which is not a whole lot. In the city, it makes for a really good little runabout. It's pretty comfortable with coil springs, and the turning circle is excellent, and it's pretty good on fuel. But that's not really what I'm interested in, because as you can probably see from what's out there, I am kind of in the bush, I guess. I'm in the Adelaide Hills, and I've found a little trail here, which I'm going to pilot this Jimny along. It's a pretty narrow trail. There's a couple of good opportunities to see just how good this thing goes off-road. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to see just how good an off-roader this little Jimny is. Now, first things first, I better put it into low range. Come on. Is that low range? It looks like it's in low range. Yeah, that feels like low range. Okay, our first little obstacle is this pretty steep uphill climb here. It's quite rocky. I don't have locking diffs, but it's going fine. Not a problem at all. There is pretty good ground clearance on this thing, so I'm not too worried about that dip there. Doesn't have proper off-road tyres actually there, just highway terrains, but it handles that very well. Now, despite the fact it only has that 130 newton meters of torque, the low range gearing on this thing is actually, it's so low that it doesn't really matter that that's all it makes, because it just feels so much punchier than the numbers would have you believe. Tight little turning circle works well too on segments of road like that. Now, coming up here, got a couple of tree branches I've got to go over. Coil springs absorbing that well. Look at that. Didn't feel anything from that actually. The ride is surprisingly good. You'd think it would be a lot bouncier and jumpier than it actually is, but it does really well, this thing. And around the fence, turning circle, and I've got really good visibility as well, because everything's just sort of right there. You're not guessing where the back of the car is because it's just so close to you. It's great. Now, one of the really good things about it as well is you're so close to the edge of the car too that if I had the window down as well, I'd be able to see absolutely everything that's out there. So that bush didn't scratch against that. Opens up a little bit here, but oh, now here we go. We've got another obstacle here, big fallen tree branch, but I think around there, oh yeah, easy. Try not to flick that up into the paintwork. Yep. We've got another obstacle, cameraman. We can't get around the cameraman, he's gonna have to move. Now, one of the other good things about the Jimny is through really tall grass like what I'm going through at the moment, you don't really have to worry about scratching up the underside because it's all got that black plastic cladding on it. So it takes the scratches a lot better. The other reason I don't really have to worry is because this press car that I'm driving right now already has a few battle scars from other journos, so nothing we're going to put it through is going to be quite enough to damage it that badly, I don't think. And now here's another little obstacle here. Oh, through that bump. There's a tree, and there's a very tight gap here. But if I just, oh, that's close. Yes, around that, no problems. I wasn't worried. I wasn't worried at all. And some really long grass here. Where even is the path? Oh, there it is. Oh, I see it. Bit of scrapage. Little bit of scrapage, but that's okay. It's what this car's built for. It's meant to do this stuff, and it's doing it well. Bump. There we go. Oh, killer. That is so good. Alright, now path up ahead there is blocked off by another fallen tree branch. A lot of fallen tree branches here, so let's try this way. Yep. Not too deep. That's all alright. Try not to tip over into there. Oh, there we go. Nice! So good. This thing is so easy to off-road in, honestly. If an idiot like me can do it, anyone can. And so there you have it. Obviously not the most hardcore off-roading you're ever going to see someone do, but I feel like this is the sort of tight little trail that people with Jimnys are actually going to take them along. No one's really going to be going out into the very middle of the bush in the middle of Australia or anything like that with one of these. They're just going to go on little rural trails like this, farm tracks, that sort of thing. And for them, it is absolutely perfect. Low range gearing is fabulous. The ground clearance is really good, although obviously you can't really do much about tall grass like that. Yeah, it's a brilliant little off-roader. $23,990, that's all you're paying for one of these with the 5-speed manual. And I'll tell you what, awesome value for the money. I don't think you're going to get a better off-roader for that sort of coin. Yeah, awesome car. I love it. It's really good fun. If you're into your off-roading, but you don't want to spend a whole ton of money, one of these. Makes for a good city car too. Anyway, we'll see you next time.